I'm going to make another tutorial now on, or in addition to some of my other previous wireless hacking videos on WP encryption. This also can be used for WPA and so forth. I haven't actually made a video for that yet, but these techniques can still be applied to that. And basically what I'm going to go over today, I'm going to go over fake authentication as well as interactive packet replay. Fake authentication is really handy to use when there's not an actual system on the network. If you try to do an arrow dump and you don't see any networks or any ESSIDs connected to the access point, you can basically do what's called fake authentication, where you make the access point think you're actually on the network, so you can replay packets with it. And doing that, you'd be able to increase the data packet flow. So anyways, right now I'm in the Backtrack virtual machine. If you do not know how to set this up, please watch my first tutorial on wireless hacking for WP encryption, and that'll show you how to set everything up here. But right now I'm using the Flux desktop, so it may look a little different than yours, but it's the same concept regardless. First thing we want to do here, I got K right open here so I can just take some notes. But first thing we want to do is open up a terminal window, so I can just go to Xterm on my Flux. And we just want to open up a shell console here. And of course, make sure my interface is listed, my chipset is listed there. So at this point, I can just proceed in doing an arrow dump, and then put my adapter name, just to search some networks around us. And most of these I've already gotten. However, my roommate expressed an interest in accessing this particular network. It is fairly strong signal strength, and it's WP encryption as well, so I'll go ahead and give that a shot. And I don't believe there's any systems connected to that network too, so I can just press Control-C to stop that. And where did he go? Okay, there it is, the Mookie network. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it over here. And one thing I've noticed is kind of helpful is typing out the commands in K right here, so I can just copy and paste into the terminal window. But basically what I want to do is I want to do an arrow dump on this network. I can make it something temporary, so I don't even need to write it to a document really, but I'll just do it just in case. We'll name it Mookie Test. And we'll specify the BSSID, which will be the access point. And here's our MAC address for that access point here. Okay, so now we have our basic arrow dump command, and I just want to specify the channel, and that channel for Mookie will be channel 6, as we can see here. So specify channel 6, and then I'll also specify my adapter, which would be WLAN 0, and that's our basic arrow dump command. So I can go ahead and copy this, and if I go back to this terminal window and I paste it in here, press enter, we'll see here that there aren't any systems actually on the network right now. And also the data rate is consequently not even going at all. So what we want to do is we want to authenticate with the network. We want to make it think that we are on the network. And once we get our system on the network itself, we can do that interactive packet replay or active injection, whichever one we'd like to do. And by doing that, we can intercept ARP replies and make the data packet flow a little bit faster here. So what we want to go and do is I can stop this for now. And first things first, I need to check out my MAC address. And there's a built-in script here called MAC Changer in the Backtrack distro. So you can just specify MAC Changer -S and then your adapter name, which would in this case be WLAN 0. Hit enter, and it'll show your current MAC address. I'm going to just copy this down here and notate it down here. So this we're going to need, and also we do have the access points MAC, which we'll need as well. So at this point, what we want to do is we want to authenticate with the network itself by doing fake authentication, and this is incorporated into the AirPlay. So it's going to be AirPlay -ng or space -1 to specify the fake authentication. And after this, we want to put in a reassociation time. For this, I'm going to use 3000. I found that works the best. We're going to specify the network we're trying to connect to. So I'm going to put space -e. And then space the name of the network, and we see here the network name is Mookie, so it says the ESSID. And notate that here. And then space -a for the access point, and the access point is the MAC address we found for that access point. Space -h, and then in the H field we're going to input our MAC address. Just copy that and paste it there. Okay, And then we can throw in a few extra flags here. I'm going to put space hyphen O and then 1, and this will send one set of packets at a time rather than multiple. The default sends multiple. I found that causes some complications actually, so I've just been doing this, and it works almost all the time, and rather than the conflictions of the previous one. So throw in the flag hyphen O space 1 to ensure you're only sending one set of packets, and after that space hyphen Q and put 10, so that'll just keep packets live every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds it'll re-authenticate with the new packets. And then we can specify the adapter, which is WLAN 0. And that's going to be our command. It's kind of lengthy here, but that's going to be our fake authentication command. So we can just go ahead and copy this, and we can input it into our backtrack in our terminal window, shell window. And we will see authentication successful if it did complete successfully, and assuming all the information is correct, it should do that. And also because we have it set to authenticate every 10 seconds and 3000, it should, you want to keep this window up so it'll keep authenticating. You'll see the lines keep reappearing saying sending packets and so forth. So we want to keep that open. And we already see 2 listed here. Now at this point we want to open up another terminal window, another shell console. Just open up over here. And at this point we can perform what's called an interactive packet replay. Now you can also do active injection, however that doesn't always seem to work. I actually have better luck with the interactive packet replay if there's no systems on the network. If there is a system on the network, I suggest doing active injection, but in this scenario we're going to try interactive packet replay. So I don't know why I'm spelling it out here, but here's the command for it. We're going to enter ARPs -ng space -2, and that will specify the interactive packet replay space -b. Okay. And for B is going to be the MAC address of the access point. So I'm going to just copy this BSS ID. And then -h followed by our MAC address, which will be the one ending in 1C. And then space -c space, and then we want to just input all F's here. Okay, and that's just going to select the packets with the broadcast destination, and from there we can throw on a space -p 0841, and this ensures the frame control field looks similar to that of a wireless client. And at the end of this we want to just add the name of our adapter, which in this case will be WLAN 0. And this right here is going to be the command for interactive packet replay. So it's a pretty lengthy one as well, but it's pretty simple. And I can just open in my new shell console, I can just input that command while this is running. So I should be authenticated with the network, and I can go ahead and actually I'll go and show that I am authenticated with the network. So if I open up another terminal window, because I'm going to need a third one open anyways, and I go back to that arrow dump command, see when I still have it in there. Okay, there we go. And if I go ahead and run this, it'll take a second here, but my system will appear down here. It takes just a moment though, but I want to show you that my system is connected. And while I'm waiting on that, I'm just going to go ahead and run this. Okay, and now we see that my system did show it. I don't know why it's delayed like that, but it takes some time for it to appear. So I am actually shown as though I'm on the network due to that fake authentication. But if we switch back to here, we're doing that interactive packet replay right now. So we're gathering some packets right now, and Jen will go up to 2 to 3,000, and it'll ask if you want to use the packets. So let's give it a second here while it builds up. Okay, so we see at 4,820 packets, we see this big chunk right here. And if you check back to this window here, we do show on the network, and we do see that the data packet rates are still, the IVs that were collected is still very low. Now watch what happens when we actually perform this interactive replay. Do we want to use this packet? Of course, hit Y for yes and hit enter. And right now we'll see we're sending packets, and if we switch back to this, you'll see the data rates actually escalating fairly fast. And at this point we're collecting quite a few IVs, and rather than waiting several hours for this to complete, if at all, we can basically let this run, and wait till we get about to anywhere between 25,000 to 60,000 packets. Generally 25,000, 30,000 will suffice. So we'll let this run, and once it's done you can just Control C to stop it and perform the error crack from that point. I do know a lot of people were having issues with no systems appearing on a network. They were unable to accumulate data packets, and this technique is very useful for correcting that issue. So hope this video proves helpful to you all, and good luck.